In this lecture, we will see different methods offered by jQueryUI's draggable interaction. In fact, many of these methods that we are going to now discuss are common in most of the interactions, widgets, etc. So, once we discuss all these methods in this draggable interaction, we might not repeatedly discuss it in each section. Okay, so let's see different methods one by one, and I have created a web page like this which contains 3 div elements, that is red, green and blue, and some buttons. I have just styled these buttons to see them clearly because otherwise they will be too small. So I have increased the font size and also added some border to see each button clearly. The different methods that we are going to see now are disable, enable, destroy and option. So as I have already mentioned in a previous lecture, it is very easy to use methods in jQueryUI. You just have to pass the name of the method as a parameter to the draggable method. So let me just enter them in a new file. Disable, enable, destroy and option. The disable method will disable the draggable functionality temporarily, and the enable method will enable it again, and the destroy method will destroy the draggable functionality permanently, and the option method can be used to set or get the value of options. Okay, so I have made the first 2 div elements, that are red and green boxes, just draggable, and for the third div element I have set the value of revert to be true and revert duration to be 1000. So as of now all these 3 elements are draggable, and the only difference is that this third one has revert option, which means when I release the mouse it will move back to its original position, and I have also set the value of revert duration to be 1000, which means it will reach back its original position in 1 second. Now let us try to see the methods one by one. So I want to disable the draggable functionality when I click this disable button. So how I can write the code? $hash, the ID is btn disabled. So btn disabled, I need to add it to the click event. So when it is clicked, I need to write the function, and within the function I just have to write, suppose I want to disable the draggable functionality for the first div element. So I need to write $hash sub1 dot draggable, and I just need to specify the name of the method within double quotes. So here the name of the method is disable. Okay. So once the button is clicked, the draggable functionality of this div element will be removed temporarily. So let's see that. Let me refresh. Now it is draggable, isn't it? All the items are draggable. Let me click the disable button, and if I try to drag this, see, it is not getting dragged. Whereas this and this are draggable even now because we have specified hash sub1 draggable disable. So this element is not draggable now. Now on the click of the enable button, let's make it again draggable. So how we can do that? Let me copy this, paste it over here and change it to enable, because we are going to enable the functionality when the enable button is clicked, and let me make it enable. This is the name of the method. Please don't confuse the name of the button with the name of the method. I have named the button like this. You can name it the way you want, but here you need to pass enable itself because it is the name of the method. So save, refresh. Now it is draggable. Okay, let me click the disable button. This is now not draggable. Let me again click the enable button. See, it is now became again draggable. So this enable and disable methods are used to enable the draggable functionality and also to disable the draggable functionality temporarily. Now there is another method called destroy. Okay, So once you call the destroy method, the draggable functionality will be removed permanently. Okay, so for the btn destroy, let's call the destroy method. Okay, so let me copy this, and here the name of the button is btn destroy, and let us remove the draggable functionality of sub2 permanently. So what is the name of the method? It is destroy. So save, refresh. It is draggable now. Let me click the destroy button and try. See, it is not draggable, and the draggable functionality is actually removed forever. Okay. Now another method is option. You can use the option method in actually 3 different ways. One is to set the value of an option. Second is to get the value of an option. And the third is to get the value of all the options. So first let us try to get the value of one option. So I have set get option. This is the ID btn get. So let me copy this. Okay. And here the ID is btn get. And if we want to get the value of an option, what we need to do is we need to pass the name of the method. It is option. And let us try to get the value of sub3 is revert. Okay. So here it should be changed to sub3, and the name of the option is revert. So this will be a value. So if we want to see that, let me try to display in a message box using alert. So let us save, refresh. Let me click the get option. Okay, nothing happens. Okay, the revert should be within double quotes. You need to specify the name of the option within double quotes. So refresh, get option. See, the value is true. Suppose I change this to revert duration. What is the value we have set here? It is 1000. Okay. So let me refresh, get option. See, it is 1000. In fact, you can get the value of an option of which you haven't set any value. For example, let us try to get the value of helper. So what will be the value of helper? It will be the default value. And do you remember the default value of the helper option? It is original. The helper option is used to add a helper element, and we need to set the value to be clone or a custom function. If we do not set any value, its value will be original. So let's try to get the value. See, it is returning the original as its value. So which means you don't have to specify the value which you have set. It will return the value of all the options. Okay. Now here we are getting the value of an option. Using the same option method, we can also set the value for an option. So let me copy this, and I have added a button named set option. So its ID is btn set. So here if I specify btn set, now suppose I want to set some value for the cursor option of sub1. So here I need to change this to sub1, and we need to pass one more parameter, which is the value. Okay, so to set some value for an option, you need to specify the first parameter should be option itself. The second parameter should be the name of the option, and here it is cursor. And if I want to specify the value of the cursor to be grab, that should be the third parameter. So grab is an allowed value for the cursor option. So let us refresh. Now it is showing the default cursor, isn't it? Let me click the set option, and if I try to drag this, see, the cursor style is changed to grab. So if you want to set the value of an option, you need to pass actually 3 parameters. The first one is option, that is the name of the method. The second one is the name of the option you want to set value for. And the third one is the actual value you need to set. So we have seen how to use the option method in 2 ways. And one more way is there. It is to get the value of all the options. So it will return actually an object of key value pairs, where the key will be the name of the option and the value will be the actual value for that particular option. So here I have added one more button. It is get all options, and the ID is btn options. So let me copy this and change this to options. And so suppose you want to get the value of sub3's options. So sub3 dot draggable, and you just need to pass only one parameter, that is the name of the method, and here it is option. So this will return actually an object. Okay, so how we can display all the values? Let me collect this in a variable obj. Okay, and let me use the each method $.each. Okay, and here I need to pass the object, that is obj, and let me add a function. The each method is used to loop through some objects or arrays. Okay, so let me try to display alert, and let me pass the key and value, key comma value, and here let me pass key, and let me add an equal sign and then the value. Okay, here actually we have set the value for revert and revert duration only, but it will be displaying all the options and their corresponding values, as we have seen the value of an option for which we haven't set the value. So let me refresh, click the get all options. See, disabled, its value is false, create null, cancel, all these are default values for these options. In fact, delay 0, add classes true, append to parent, access false, connect to sortable false, containment false, cursor auto, cursor at false, grid false, handle false, helper original, that is the default value for the helper option. Then opacity false, refresh positions, revert. See, for revert we have set the value to be true, and for revert duration 1000. So those values are being displayed. So like this we will be able to see all the options and their corresponding values. So here and all you can see the default values. Okay, now to get only the value we want, what we can do, we can just display alert obj dot revert. Okay, and also obj dot revert duration. So like this we can get the values we want. And let me remove this. Okay, now let's see, save, refresh, let me click get all options, revert true, and for revert duration it is 1000. And suppose if I change this to sub 1, what will happen? For revert it will be false, and for revert duration it will be 500, because it is the default value. For revert it is false, and for revert duration it is 500. So here this option method can be used in 3 ways. If you pass only the name of the method, it will return an object that contains the values of all the options. That is, you will get the values for all the options as key value pairs. Then the second way is to get the value of a particular option. In that case, you just have to pass the name of the method, that is option, as the first parameter, and the second parameter should be the name of the option for which we need to get the value. So you can get the value of a particular option like this, and you can use the same option method to set the value for a particular option. So here you can set the value of a particular option by passing option as the first parameter, name of the option as the second parameter, and the value of that particular option as the third parameter. Now if you want to set values for multiple options, what you can do is you can specify them like within curly braces. The key value pairs should be separated by a colon, and put a comma to set the value for another option. Suppose you want to set the value for revert, you can put revert true. So in this case what will happen? We are setting the values of multiple options here. So let us check that. For the click button it should work. So let me click the set option button, and let me try to move this. Its cursor is now grab, and also when I release it is moving back. Means the value of the cursor option is set to grab and the value of revert option is set to true. So you can set the value of only one option or even multiple options using this option method. If you want to set the value of a single option, the second parameter should be the name of the option and the third parameter should be the value of the option. And if you want to set values for multiple options, you just have to pass an object as the second parameter, and the name of the option and its value should be separated by a colon, and different options should be separated by a comma. So in this lecture, we have seen how to use different methods offered by jQueryUI's draggable interaction. They are disable, enable, destroy, and option. We will be using these same methods with all the interactions and widgets, so we will not be discussing them in each section.